my brother, my family. It is so good to see you. Right off the top, how has 2025 been for you, sir?
Well, many times you think it's not been good. It's been great. New album, not released yet. A Christmas song released. We're working on the release, and I'm just trying to figure it all out because, record companies have become obsolete.
Yeah.
So, I'm working on that end. But the album, Rudy, is beautiful. I can't wait uh, until you come see the show because there's a show and there's music and there's me and there's just my life that recently I'm thinking I really have a lot to be grateful for.
Yes.
Like a lot. I sing. I still have my voice. I still look pretty good. I'm happy. I have a lot of love around me, and I have a lot of support around me. And like many people can complain about the year and what's happened and what didn't happen. Everything is happening for me. And 26, I'm looking so forward to it.
Do you realize, because I ask people in your position this question and they always get all fuddy-duddy about it. Do you know you're an icon? Do you realize you're an icon and such an influencer, the true meaning of influencer, and what you have done for the Canadian fabric music scene?
Well, like you said, I mean, I guess I will take it. I will take legacy. I will take the positive things that I have done. I hope that, you know, I have done the things that people need because it's just not all about me and show business people. It is all about us usually. But my attempt and my real thoughts are that I do what I do so that the people behind me will have and get what they need to survive. This is a very tough business to be in. It's airplay, not play, release, not release, record deals, obsolete. Social media seems to be what you really have to have in place. So that's what I've been doing, and I've seen a difference in that. And I did the Rex this summer. I'm doing the Bistro in the new year. We have a one-man show coming up. So my thoughts are that I'm doing these things that somebody looks at it and says, "Oh, I can do that too." That answers your question.
Yes, it does. But you have another question you have to answer for me because I saw you on CP24
Yes.
talking about some new holiday music, which is why I've got this background and we are wearing our Black Santa hats on.
Well, I recorded "Oh Come All You Faithful" when I did the album, and the album is kind of old now, but it's not because it hasn't been released. But "Oh Come All You Faithful" is beautiful. I have oh gosh, Omar Lunan, I think that's his name, and Cecile Levy, incredible backing vocalists, incredible band. Stu Harrison, David DiDorenzo, and Mike Downs on bass. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. And the incredible Molly Johnson is executive producer on this.
Of course.
And she's done, a great job. But my partner as well has been on this ride with me going on 32 years. And I owe it all kind of to them. And because we can get out of line, I'm a free spirit. I realized I am a free spirit. And I kind of do things when I think they should be done, but executive people know better and are very helpful. So, I've had a lot of love, a lot of help, support from you, support from my community. And I just appreciate it so much. That's why I do it. And I still do it because I can sing still. Like I still have some chops left in me. And those are not egotistical chops. Those are just chops that, my mother and father gave me, I guess, you know, in life, and they're not here anymore, and God rest their souls. But I they had a youth about them, and that's what this new record is about, and it's called Make Some Noise. And they had a youthism about them. My mom and dad went to the Savoy and danced, and they heard Duke Ellington and they heard Count Basie and they saw BB King live. I just experienced all that stuff. And on top of it, they had a record store for 13 years. We sold everything, Rudy. Coca-Cola, wigs, jewelry, all the Lou Rawls albums, all the Aretha Franklin albums, all the James Cleveland albums. Like we were right on the corner of 140th and Kinsman, and people would come. Like this time of year was really special because my mom would just go all out on jewelry and records, and we would have all the latest. And so that's what I did for like 13 years. I sat kind of in a record store. Meanwhile, they sent me off to school, paid for my college, did all that stuff for me. But I think the record store was a lot of influence. And I just sat and listened to everybody, Mahalia, Shirley Caesar, you name it. And one more little tidbit. I went to a gospel show in New York at Madison Square Garden, and I saw Aretha on stage, just piano. She opened the show, and Mahalia closed the show,
Oh.
just piano. So, these are my experiences. And so I think about when you talk about legacy and stuff like that, just the influence and the guidance that I've had in watching these incredible performers, and how I just want to grow and be and give the way they have.
Why did you choose that particular Christmas song? There's so many beautiful songs. Why that one? And was that one challenging for you, especially when you have all these other great artists collaborating with you?
Oh, Come All Ye Faithful is for me a very joyous song. It talks about people rejoicing and being there at the side of the king. And I just was part of all that in growing up. I mean, my parents, I believe, were Methodists. And then when they moved to Cleveland, they became Baptists. But my parents never had a religion for me. I grew up in the Baptist church, so I feel all that stuff. But I experienced Jehovah's Witness, I experienced Catholic. So, and to add to that, my choir days in high school were very, oh gosh, we did the Messiah. I mean, I just grew up around music, Rudy. So, "Oh Come All You Faithful" it just happens to be one of my favorite songs, but it is a song about rejoicing, and it is a song about rejoicing the King and His birth, and I think about all that. It was really interesting. I said to someone the other day, I may not be so religious, but I'm very spiritual. And
That is that is the absolute truth. Now, I'm not sure if I'm correct about this or not. Is the um uh is this being used as a fundraiser, or is money being donated from this song to anything? I wasn't sure about
I
that.
know this song, I released it, but
Okay.
my connection with CANFAR, which is what I think you're talking about,
Yes.
I've been involved with CANFAR for quite a few years, and I um, I was diagnosed HIV in around 1986, I think, something like that. I don't know, but they got in touch with me a few years ago, and I've been, you don't mix kind of your stuff up. I just want people to know I'm a singer, but HIV is a really, really big deal, and I've lost a lot of friends in New York because I worked on Broadway, and I lost a lot of friends. So my my activity with CAMFAR is quite wonderful because there has not been a cure yet, but things that are in the works, uh, prep works, for people. There's testing now because the stigma of HIV was such, it was a, the stigma behind it just makes people hide. So, like I said, I have a voice, people listen usually, and I get to say some really important things. And this is one of the most important things. CANFAR on World AIDS Day invited me to go and do CP24 and talk about it because I didn't really want to talk about it. But I have, like I said, I have the voice to talk about it and I should share my experience. Who knows? I may help someone. That's my intention.
You have always been a leader, whether it be through music, through life, in every facet possible. I mean, for me growing up and watching your music videos, watching you on stage, being able to walk through a subway and see you sitting there somewhere in a cafeteria, for me personally, it always blows my mind going, I know him. It is such a thrill for me.
Well,
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it goes back to what I was saying before. Do you realize the impact you have on people, not just because of your voice, but because of who you are?
Well, I'm in a relationship with my partner for 32 years, and I want to always think that he really has helped me to be as humble as I can be. Because when you have the stage and you have the four walls, your life can be different. But I'm just a person. I'm another person with another message. And I take the subway and I eat in food courts and I do big awards and I go to galas and I do all these things, but I'm just Billy. I'm still just Billy. I wake up in the morning, I make coffee, uh, I get the dog out with him, I feed the dog, I go grocery shopping. And a woman, the other day just stopped me on the way, like I was in a rush, but she stopped me and she said, "You just don't know how inspiring you are." And I'm like, I used to kind of run from that, and I just gave her the moment because that's my job. My job is no matter what, I could be in a hurry or what, but the things I say are important to people. And I realize that, I guess, maybe through age. But the legacy thing is, I'm just Billy. I'm when, like you said, you see me at the food court. Hi, you see me on the TTC. Hi, that's just my makeup and that's just who I am. But I think that love and appreciation has a lot to do with it. And I think gratitude because, you know, it could have gone the other way for me. And I'm from 26 cousins. I have 26, maybe, well, 23, because maybe three are dead. But I grew up an only child, but I grew up with 26 cousins. And I think that that was a grounding force for me because my mom was the oldest of her siblings, but I had to set some kind of example. So as much as I don't want to sometimes, I don't want to be the example. I am the example and I am, life and I love life and I love music and I love people and I love things. And just one more little thing. I used to be a little bit curmudgeon, around this holiday time. But this is a
Mm,
time to be grateful, a time to be
yes,
joyous,
yes,
a time to appreciate,
yes,
um, and a time to love. And
absolutely.
that's 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 my job. That's an easy job.
No, absolutely. Is it time to either write a biography or is it time for a documentary on your life? I mean, just Biff Naked just did hers, which is absolutely amazing.
We're in the talks
Good.
because I think a book is one thing, but I love optic. I love,
Yeah.
and if I mean, well, now I'm like on my third documentary when you think about it, because
Yeah.
Still Here is a CANFAR documentary that people can go to the CANFAR website and see Still Here. But I believe that I love the optic. I would want music behind it because that's what I'm
Yes.
about. So when you do a book, it's kind of silent. But if you do a documentary, you get to talk about yourself and to talk about your life and to talk about people and things. Um, I don't think it's an accident that I moved here in '84. I really think that my life changed. I'm alive. Uh, I'm here to tell you about what I go through, what I deal with every day. Um, I'm living the life fantastic.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Before we go,
Yes.
because we are coming up to the end of 2025, going into 2026,
Yes, sir.
as much as there has been beauty and joy in 2025, as you know, there has been some horrible things happening,
Well,
especially in this last week or so.
I
Is
know.
there any words of wisdom that you can give us so that we can look into 2026 and still focus on that beautiful light?
Well, it's funny that you're asking me that question because I was thinking about Rob Reiner earlier and just Brown University and just all that stuff.
Australia, the shooting,
Australia. Now, I grew up in Cleveland. My mother was a domestic in several Jewish households. So I grew up around a lot of Jewish people. But when I think about my growing up, as challenging sometimes, Rudy, as life was, because Black people go through stuff, but white people go through stuff, and people go through stuff. And when I think about my parents and how they raised me, as much seriousness and as much darkness that could surround the family stuff, so many siblings and cousins, and my parents were always upbeat with me, and they never told me that I couldn't. They always pushed me, and I do believe that that's what stays in me today. That I'm going to try to be as joyful as I can, but I'm very sad about what's happening around me, and I often wonder why are these things happening? Because people do wonder why did it happen to me? Well, I know that I have a purpose in my life, and my purpose, big time, is music. Big time is to get people motivated to what they really want to do in their lives. So I kind of think that kind of stuff, and I live in a very positive environment. Um, it's not likely that my partner sits around moping and thinking bad things. He's always being optimistic. So it's wonderful to be in a place like that to start. So the moment I walk out the door, I'm smiling. And I hope that that smile is infectious. I hope that that music becomes infectious. I just hope that the legacy that you're talking about, um, the memory, if I should ever go away or something or die, that he was always happy and he always wanted joy and he surrounded himself with joy, and that was his purpose. It's joy. It's to enlighten people. It's to say something again to change someone's life or everybody's life. That's that's what I want to give for Christmas, and that's what I want to give in the new year is We all can do this. Just have to figure out where you are in it and be positive about it and just go forward and do it.
Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you for all these decades. I love you.
Oh,
I
Rudy,
respect you.
thank
And I
you.
am so glad to call you a friend. Thank you so much for this interview and all the best in the new year.
Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy and prosperous New Year's to you and yours and your family.